I think Russ is winning the MVP.
Bro, sorry to cut you off. Real quick, I just want to recap that in this episode, Melo is going to put up 16 points a game and Westbrook's winning MVP. And if all this shit happens and they win the finals,
I just don't think he has it anymore.
Melo's the role he didn't want in Oklahoma.
Carmelo Anthony drills it straight away.
what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Control the Narrative, a podcast where we control the narrative that the media creates. If you're new around here, subscribe to catch our weekly podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're a returner, a subscriber, or better yet, a Control the Narrative member, we appreciate you as always. So the season starts in a week. Next week's episode, it's going to be kind of weird timing because the Lakers kick off the season Tuesday night against the Warriors, and we record either Mondays or Tuesdays, and we air Wednesdays. So this is going to be the last episode that you hear or watch before the season kicks off. Anyway, we have two Control the Narrative veterans on the show today. Real quick backstory: when we had one of our first episodes after the Melo decision, these two are pretty vocal about coming on and expressing their opinion. Like I said, they're veterans. They've been on here before. Always good convo when these two join the show. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Jordie and Big Ha back to the show. My guys, how you feeling?
Salute.
What's good? How you guys feeling?
Good.
We go right now. Late show.
Wild. Can you imagine like 4 months ago saying those words like that? Lake show, like
Yeah.
I could have never.
I couldn't imagine. Well, I couldn't imagine it, but I knew it was happening. I told y'all I told you especially, Steve, since the season ended, we're going to the Lakers. I told you.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm happy to be here now.
Bet, man. All right, yo, Jordie, we'll start with you in the top right. Like I said, we came out. I'm not gonna lie, I was devastated when Melo joined the Lakers, but let's look at just the positives for right now, and then we could kind of go to the argument after. So, Jordie, why do you believe this LA scenario situation is a good kind of move for Melo at this point in his career?
I feel like it's a perfect fit, to be honest. Like Melo said, this is the highest IQ team in the league, right? And then you have LeBron. You know, how many more years do they got left, in the league, right? So now he's going to join up with LeBron, something that they've been talking about for a long time. Russ came like 2 weeks before Melo made it, 2-3 weeks before Melo made his decision. He's already played with Russ. AD is a force, in my opinion. When healthy, he's a top 5 big in the game. And then you just add Vogel, which knows Melo very well, Pacers series, So it's just, I feel like it was a perfect fit, You got 2 or 3 years left in the league, let's win a chip. It's that time now, Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Straight to the point, Big Ha.
Yeah, I'm piggyback everything he said. Well into Zach, 100%. Most basketball purists been waiting for this moment since the Melo decided to re-sign and come back to the Knicks, right? That was the summer where they really wanted him there. So it's been a long time coming, right? For our Dunn to get to Hollywood and show his swag and his flair for the dramatics.
Yeah.
As only Melo could. So of course, as a diehard Knicks fan, of course wanted him back home, but it's time for him we're not ready for a championship. The Lakers are in prime position. His best friend is there, one of his best friends. Like the homie said, Frank Vogel knows him well from the Eastern Conference days. Russell Westbrook knows Mel well. And it's the perfect time. The age and attrition is starting to wear thin. We got a few more prime time years left. Why not go out with a bang and get that almost guaranteed, because nothing is guaranteed, but almost guaranteed chip. It's right there for him. and the fact that he's gonna, have a vital role, which is, I guess, very important to all of us as Melo diehards. He's gonna play a key part in it. So, what better way is to win on the biggest stage outside of obviously Madison Square Garden is LA. It's the Lakers, So let's get it. Let's get to work.
Fair. I don't disagree with anything you guys said. I think more so than anything, we're hopeful that he'll have a big role. In the regular season, it's going to be weird because a lot of guys are going to be taking games off. LeBron, AD, probably Westbrook, and shit like that. So, we'll see what happens. And then in the playoffs, obviously the rotation gets cut. Not as many players are playing. So that's the one thing where I'm more so hopeful than anything that he will be more than just a spot-up shooter in the preseason, and we'll get into the preseason a little bit. It seems like he's been a little more than a spot-up shooter, but look, man, at the end of the day, we all want what's best for Carmelo Anthony, and when I heard, shit, they got Westbrook, they have LeBron, they have AD, where does Melo fit in there? And, especially with LeBron, and again, we've said this, I don't know how many times over the last month or two, but with LeBron and Westbrook being so ball dominant, where does that leave Melo? How many ISO touches is he going to get? So I completely agree with, this is his best chance to win a ring on this team this year. They're probably the favorites to win it all, especially with what's going on in Brooklyn with Kyrie. And then also, this is probably his best chance to win a ring in his career out of any fucking year. Obviously, he's out of his prime, even though that's kind of debatable. I was talking on Twitter today about how King of Sorrow, shout out King of Sorrow, how if you literally gave him 30, 35 minutes, 15 shots a game, he would still be as productive as ever. But anyway, he's not the featured guy in the team anymore. So I'm hopeful that he will be able to carve out a role outside of just spot-up shooter.
Absolutely. I concur.
So I guess we'll see. But my number one thing, obviously we all want him to win a ring. Would have loved if it was in New York. I think all of us would have. But, at this point, if he's a key member of the team, on a championship team,
that's important.
What more can we ask for at this point in his career? So
right.
That's where I kind of line with you guys. But Big Ha, we'll go back to you on this one. I still with all that being said, I still, not that I hate the move or whatever. And again, we're talking about similar shit that we've been talking about over the past few months. We just have two optimistic guests on today, so we want to let them kind of be the devil's advocate here for everyone who's come on and has been like, yo, fuck this, including myself. So for all the people who don't love the move, I'll put it that way, who don't love the move, what would you say to those people?
I would say your minds will change very soon. You guys will understand why the move was necessary. Have patience. And again, back to what I just said, you guys will be happy at the end. When Melo is hosting that trophy and he was a big part, you will see that it was all worth it. Rather see him win, get that ring. The last thing he needs to do, the last thing, in my opinion, stat-wise, of course, I want him to get to the number 8. I would love to him get to his number 7, Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah. That might be a stretch, depending on how long he played. If he could get that 30,000 plateau, that's also a great individual plateau to achieve, right? But let's call a spade a spade. It's the chip. That's it. It's the chip. It's nothing else. There's nothing else left. A chip. So let's just hope in God and pray for our done that this is it. You know what I'm saying? And no, all of the Melo haters won't have nothing ever to say again. Because we all know they always try to pinpoint or picky or try to be picky about something. So now their last thing is he ain't a winner. He doesn't have a ring. So now we need to shut them up.
Fair enough.
Yep. Thank you.
Jordie? Anything
to piggyback what he said, to piggyback what he said, check, feel me? Just be patient. At the end of the day, we're talking about a team with so many Hall of Famers, so many legends, so many people that just know the game inside and out. And I'm not even talking about just the players. I'm talking about the coaches. I'm a Knicks fan, and I hate Dave Fisdale as a coach. But as an assistant coach,
no doubt.
as an assistant coach, he won in 2013 with Miami. You know what I mean? Frank Vogel won a championship in 2020. You got Rondo, you got Dwight, you got, even though Russ hasn't won, Russ has all his life damn near has been playing with superstars and stars. So he knows he's gonna have to sacrifice a little bit more because there's more than one superstar now. He's kind of like the third option. So he'll adjust. Feel me? It's like I said, it's just be patient. This is the team. Feel me? This is the team constructed right now. This is the highest IQ team. This is the team with the most Hall of Famers inside and out. Pause. And we're gonna be valid. We're gonna be all right. For real.
So all right. So question for both of you. You guys both mentioned having patience. Are you talking about being patient in the season that he'll get his shots? Or are you talking about being like, what do you mean, both of you, by being patient?
Well, okay, I'll go part and self. I'll go first on this. When I say patience, meaning give things time to see why we're saying it's gonna work. Because there may be some roller coasters here, right? Where the ones who was opposing this move might be like, see, I told y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that might come, right? Hopefully it won't, but I know it may come. That's what I mean by being patient. Like, just stick with it. Like I would always say, lock in and understand that things take time to mesh, but it's going to all come together, and at the end, it will be all worth it. So that's what I mean by patient. Instead of the first thing that we don't like or see something go wrong is like, see, wrong move. You should have went to New York. You should have went to the Nets. Because you know that's coming, right? So that's what I mean by patience.
Right.
Fair.
And to add on to what he said, it's not like this is the let's say struggles do happen, right? This ain't the set team. There's still an NBA trade deadline. We all know how LeBron is when it comes to trade deadline. That 2018 Cavs team was sorry. Then came in trade deadline, traded his mans, traded everybody damn near. And, with a little Kyrie being hurt, his team went to the finals in 2018. Right. So you just got to be patient with life in general. You got to be patient, and this Lakers team is so different.
Great point.
Fair enough. It's funny, Big Ha, when you're talking about there's gonna be ups and downs and shit like that. Like that was obviously the case in Portland over the past few years.
Yeah.
Like there were times where Melo would get the ball a lot and he would put up 20 points a game, like 3, 4, 5 games in a row, and then there'd be other games like remember that game he scored 0 points and it was a fucking roller coaster. And I think that roller coaster compared to what we're gonna see this year in LA is fucking nothing. I think this year in LA is just gonna be one game 25, the next game 4, the next game 12, the next game 7, the next game 28. Like I feel like it's really gonna be crazy this year. So fair point.
Well, yes. I just want to add something real that's a part of our conversation, but outside of the question. The one thing with Melo is, and his fan supporters have to understand this. The minute Melo, and it's gonna be real quick, the minute Melo gave away his power, which his power was in New York as a Knick, right? No one could touch him. No one could tell him anything. Phil Prick Jackson tried, but no avail, right? He got fired first, and then Mel said, "Yeah, get me out of here." But the minute our Melo supporters got to understand, the minute Melo said, "I'm out," he relinquished his power. So anywhere he joined up with, he has to fit into their structure, their structure. So therefore, when you have this may be debatable. People might get mad at me when I say this. Whoever is a top dog that sees this show, but I believe there's a lot of people that's jealous of Melo. And so it's like, damn, Melo just scored 25 straight, 3 straight games. All of a sudden, the CJ McCollums and nah, Melo open, but I'm shooting it. And it's like
He had his turn.
you can see clearly people kind of get jealous of Melo when he's shining, right? So I'm not saying Braun or Russ and them is going to get like that, or AD, but they're going to always try to get theirs, right? So sometime that's going to happen where he might get frozen out. With this team going for a championship with the veteran pedigree and the maturity, I would hope we don't see that again. I hope he doesn't get frozen out. We shouldn't see it with this team, but you never know. Don't be shocked. It is what it is.
I think another point that both of you guys have brought up so far is the fact that this roster is filled with winners, and all the guys on the team is like, this isn't, and no offense to Dame and CJ, I love Dame. Dame's one of my favorite players of all time, but he's never been to the NBA Finals. CJ McCollum has never been to the NBA. So when you have from top to bottom, organizational, coaches, GM, players, all that shit who have been there and have won, I think it's really going to rub off on Melo. Again, pause. Like, I feel like it's just going to be one of those things that he even said it in training camp where they don't take plays off.
Right.
And I don't know. I doubt he's saying that they did that in Portland, that they took plays off in Portland or whatever. But the intensity is there from day one. So just wanted to bring that up.
Absolutely. Agree. Great point.
Yo, real quick, sorry to interrupt if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, but just wanted to let you know that we have merch at Control the Narrative, and it's pretty fire, in my opinion. This is the Pixel Melo t-shirt that I'm rocking. Anything from Cuse Melo to New York Melo, Hoodie Melo. On this shirt, we got Scapegoat merch, we got Blackball merch, we got just regular Control merch. Shop CTRL the Narrative.com. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, stickers. Shop CTRL the Narrative.com. I think I got my point across. Go check it out. I bet you'll find something you like. Appreciate the support as well. Obviously, you know, the merch sales help us fund these podcast episodes that we get to record every single week. So appreciate you. And back to the show. So preseason, it's been a few games. Melo's had a few. I think he's played in 3 games so far. His best game, he put up 17, 6 of 12 shooting, 5 of 7 from 3.
Okay.
5 boards. I think the Lakers are winless. I don't think they've won a game, obviously.
Yeah, they have.
They win it tonight, though.
Yeah,
they win it tonight.
Who they're playing? Phoenix, right?
Golden State.
Golden State, right?
Yeah, without Curry and Draymond. So
yeah,
we win it tonight.
So, Jordie, we'll go back to you on this one. What have you seen in the preseason? And I know I sent you guys the question, and I was like, yo, what do you guys expect stat-wise? We'll get into that one next. What have you seen in the preseason out of Melo that you love, hate, just anything that you've seen that you want to call out from the 3 preseason games?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. It's probably because he's playing with the people he's playing with. I see a lot of movement. You know what I'm saying? Like that play with AD, when AD gave him that pass, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I loved OKC. When he was in OKC, it was a 3-pointer from the corner, or you know, sometimes mid range when they let him live. And that's what I saw when he was in Houston in those 10 games. It was like, oh, he'll pump fake for mid range. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my fault. That's what I would see. And Portland too. And you know, Portland, I love Portland. It was just that. It was like, okay, let's leave Melo in the corner. When he's hot, we're gonna feed him the ball, but then we're gonna freeze him out there. So now I'm seeing different movements, him doing pick and rolls with AD, like actually being involved in the offense. And I haven't seen that since New York, obviously when he was the man. So he's seeing that from the team now. And he, to many people, he's not even the third, fourth option of that team. It just speaks wonder to what this team is really about early on in the season.
Yes, excellent. I agree. I think we've gotten a balance so far of exactly what we want to see out of Melo, and what we were afraid sometimes, or have that thought process of, are they going to just make him a spot up corner, jumper? I always make jokes of this dude, but Patrick Peterson. Like, Melo is a million times better than Patrick Peterson. So we can't have him just stand in the corner. That's corny. That's not his game. right? So I seen a lot of post up for Mel. I seen, of course, the Olympic Melo. I seen, like Jordie just said, the cuts, cut to the basket, the pick and pop, and movement and all. And I've been saying I wish Mel would cut to the basket more. I know we all know his legs ain't the same. He can't get up like that no more. And sometimes he has trouble finishing at the hoop. But I do feel like he still could get more easier baskets sometimes if he wouldn't just stand there like a stationary dude waiting. You know what I mean? Instead of just cut. That Jordie, you was talking about that play where AD hit Mel and Mel went and got the layup.
Yeah,
he got
exactly
on the head
that
and
play.
he was like, and one. That was perfect. Yeah. That's what I want to see out of Mel. Don't just stand outside. Cut. That's a layup. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I've seen a nice blend. It looks like they're definitely going to make Mel do his turnaround game, which he needs to be more efficient again with that.
Yeah,
it's like he's gotten so much better with the threes that it seems like sometimes his turnaround in mid range, either he rushes it or it be a little bit off. It's weird to me because that's his bread and butter, right? But I love what I'm seeing so far. And the one thing we know is there's really no chuckers on the Lakers. Except if Russ get out of pocket. There's really nobody that's going to freeze Melo.
Tyler Horton Tucker.
Yeah. Well,
you got a couple.
Well, Tuck. I mean, yeah, but I think Vogel got to know with Tucking them and LeBron and AD in the game, get the ball to Mel. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to happen. But they're going to try to go off. They're young. Him and Monk. But they got that street game, and they're going to try to get theirs. But at the end of the day, if they're smart, they'll know give the ball to who you got to give the ball to. You know what I'm saying? But so far, I like what I've seen in the preseason offensively with the Lakers. Defensively, that'll get better, but right now they've been horrid. Yeah. Overall, except the block shots, they've been tremendously trash.
They do not look good on that end.
Yeah,
and at the end of the day, defense is an effort thing. I don't think this Lakers team is going to be a team that tries very, very hard in the regular season. Also,
yeah. Great point. Excellent point.
So I don't even think to be quite honest with you, I don't even think that team. Sorry to cut you off. I don't even think that team is really like. We're talking about AD, LeBron as the top two dogs, right? Mm-hmm. They're not gonna play 70 games. I doubt it. If they do, great. That's what we need. But I feel like this is gonna be more. And what I've been seeing in the preseason is Russ rushing a lot. It's gonna be more on Russ's pace, right? Because at the end of the day, LeBron is LeBron's team, but right now Russ is the point guard, right? LeBron is like, I'm 37, 38 years old. You know, Russ, you got to do what you got to do. It's yours and AD's team right now. You know, feel me? So I feel like we're gonna have to do it on Russ's pace. And the great thing about, going in Russ's pace, Melo's already used to that. So,
you cut out, Jordie.
You cut out.
I think your AirPods died. We can't hear you. We'll give Jordie a sec, but yeah, man. One thing I do want to point out about all this preseason is a lot of the guys haven't been playing. Westbrook, I think, played 2 out of the 3. LeBron played 1 out of the 3. I think AD missed the game. So and again, that might be representative of the regular season where guys take games off. So when we talk about he hasn't been the spot up shooter, there's been guys out. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it doesn't. We got Jordie back in the mix now. Jordie,
you got back? Okay, smooth.
I received the call, man. My fault.
All good.
It's all good.
Finish up what you were saying.
Oh, but like I was saying, so it's going to be on Russ's pace. The good thing about that is that Melo's already used to Russ's pace playing, 60, I think it was 66 games or something like that with us in OKC. So it's just things like that. And Melo, the last 2-3 seasons, he hasn't been getting hurt. I think he's missed a grand total of 5 in the last, 2-3 seasons that the 2 seasons he was in Portland. So it's just, like I said, patience is key with this team.
Fair.
Great point.
One last thing I want to add about preseason is that the one thing that has really stood out on me, you guys both mentioned it, the IQ on this team is unlike anything I've seen on a Carmelo Anthony team. Part probably ever, to be honest. Like, there was that one play where AD hit Melo, cut into the basket, but another play that I posted about after the game on Instagram was Rondo passed to AD, and then AD passed right to Melo. Like, he got it, passed to Melo, and then set the screen for Melo off the ball. And I was just like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Yeah,
this shit
I know.
happens. Like, they do shit like this on other teams, not the Blazers and like not OKC and not the Knicks and shit like that. So seeing things like that, man, that Rondo, high IQ, LeBron, obviously high IQ, like they have some high IQ players on that roster. So besides getting Melo easy shots, it's easy to get Melo easy shots when you just drive and can kick out. But the off the ball shit, the cutting to the basket shit, things like that that we really haven't seen a ton of, I'm excited about because those are the little plays that, you know, can give Melo 12 points instead of 10 or 14 points instead of 8 or just whatever throughout the game. So
Agreed.
I'm excited about that.
And the piggyback of what you said real fast is that was exactly what was missing when on the other teams he was recently on.
Yep.
I think the Knicks with Jason Kidd and Raymond Felton, they always made sure they did anything
did.
possible to get Melo the ball. But in OKC and Portland, it was, remember, they would try to use Mel sometime as a decoy so they could get their own shot.
Yeah.
It looks like, again, I got to keep calling a spade. With this situation, Vogel, it looks like they're putting a premium on when Melo's in the game. He has to be involved. He has to be involved. You know, Dame and CJ, I know you love Dame and all of that, but they're chuckers, so to speak, right? They have to get theirs. And Terry Stott's offense is predicated on do anything possible to free up Dame or CJ, right? Yep. So this looked like they're doing anything possible to get Melo the ball in the right spot. So this is another reason to tell the Melo, what you called it, the opposers of Melo joining the Lakers. This is something also to keen on and like, you know what? Damn, this might work out because they want to feed Melo when he's in the game. So that's how I see it.
I hope so. Again, just want to note that there were guys that missed time and that weren't playing in those games. So if LeBron was playing in that game where Melo put up 17, how many shots would he have gotten? Obviously, like I said, that's probably going to happen for parts of the regular season. So,
but let me ask you a question. You don't think when LeBron's in the game and Melo's in the game, LeBron is not going to emphasize trying to get Melo open for that open three on the corner and shit like that?
Do I think he'll emphasize it? I don't know. I think more than LeBron, it's just where is Melo going to be on the 3-point line because they're obviously going to put guys. So is he in the corner? Is he up top where LeBron doesn't have a direct pass? I don't really know. I'd also like to think that LeBron would want to get Melo open threes. But I don't know. It's hard to tell right now. I hope so. I hope so, Big Ha.
Absolutely. I hope so too.
All right, last interruption, because if you're watching or listening to the podcast for this long, you probably fuck with us. And if you fuck with us, you'll probably fuck with all the perks that you get from being a Control the Narrative member, whether that's access to our invite-only Discord where we're talking basketball all the time, or opportunities to join the next episode of Control. So whenever we need a guest, I go in our Discord, I say, yo, who's free? Who wants to hop on the next episode? And I pick from there. You get 20% off merch forever, and then you also get member-exclusive merch, all by being a member. Tiers start at $2 a month. So if you fuck with us, go check out a membership, CTRLthenarrative.com, and I will see you in the Discord. All right, back to the show for good. So let's do a little preview, right? We talked about preseason. So, again, we watched Melo play 3 preseason games. It's not like we watched him play 5, 10, whatever. Big Ha, we'll go back to you on this one. What do you expect out of Melo this year stats-wise? So you can't predict injuries. We can't sit here and be like, well, AD is going to miss 30. Like, we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is pretend like everybody's healthy. What do you think he does? Points, rebounds? Do you think he gets any assists at all? Like, what do you think his stat line is and why?
All right, I'm gonna go off of this, off the premise that he's gonna get 26 minutes. I already broke it down what I think it should be if it's indeed 26 minutes. And this is just assuming more than likely he's coming off the bench. Starter, I would add more time. But off the bench, I would say 26 productive minutes. So I did a 7-6-6-7 breakdown to come up to 26 minutes. And if he gets those minutes, right? Big if, we got to see. I see him getting between 16 and 18 points a game.
16 to 18.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I see him playing the role of a combo of Kuzma and Morris. So I think he's going to take the shots Morris would get and the shots Kuzma would get. I think he's going to play their role and take their shots. And I believe he will be more efficient than he's ever been. And because of that, he would get at least 16 points a game. Assuming he got 26 minutes, I'm saying.
Right.
All right. I'm not saying if he only get 19 minutes. I'm saying if he gets 26 minutes, I see 16 to 18 points a game. 4 to 5 boards. Maybe a steal, 2 assists.
Okay.
And I see that as a stat line. Shooting 40. I think his 3-point shooting will go even higher. So let's say 43%, 44% from 3-point land. And so, yeah, I see it between 16 and 18 points a game if he gets 26 minutes.
All right. Let's go on that 23 to 26 minute kind of guess. Jordie, what do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say if he does start, I would assume 26 to 28. If he doesn't start, I would assume 22 to 24.
Okay.
But 16 points is why. I would say if he starts, I would say 13, 14. If he comes off the bench, 12.7. Reason why I say that is because of like you said, there's gonna be games where he has 25 points, game where he has 4, game where he has 10, 12. So I'm assuming 12.7, and that goes by what he did in Portland, which was average 13.4. But now you have AD, LeBron, Russ instead of Dame and CJ. You know, to an extent, they take a lot of shots, but we talking about Russ, MVP, AD takes a lot of shots, which is it's his team, and LeBron. So I'm gonna lower it down a little bit. I agree that he is gonna play that Kuzma / Morris type of thing. He's gonna take their shots and things like that, and he is gonna be more efficient. He is gonna shoot 42-43% from 3. 84% from the free throw line. So and rebounds, I think he's gonna have a little bit lower. I think he's gonna have 3.5, 4 rebounds probably.
Yeah,
because what I've noticed is that in the offensive, when he's on offense and the shot goes up, he just goes back on defense. He doesn't stay for the rebound and things like that.
Right.
Go on here 3 or 4, fuck out of here, I got it. You go on here 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them, you know. And the assists, since they're gonna have him doing more of that role that I saw him do. That I've seen him do in Portland and I've seen in the preseason. I'm gonna say 1.2 assists. He's always gonna get at least a steal and 0.9 or 1 block. So it's just things we've seen from Melo on the defensive end and just then incorporated with the new Melo.
Okay, I like that. Now the only reason, real quick, the only reason I said 16 away from the 12, 13 you're saying is because of the efficiency. If you look back at the Portland years, the 4-point games he was getting, it was for some reason it was like he wasn't really in the flow or in the game, being froze out and all. And then a lot of those games was the 1 for 8, 2 for 13, or 2 for 11. I don't think he's gonna have bad shooting nights like that with this team. That's why I think the points will be up because he had 17. Now, I know LeBron didn't play, but he had 17 in 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, right? and this is what I mean. Like, but it's like his efficiency. If he plays a certain amount of minutes, I think he's not going to have too much of those 4 8-point games. He really never had it until last year, or maybe a little the year. OKC, I think he had a few games under 10.
Yeah,
but very minimum. But that was a shocker last year, but it was because of the efficiency, right? I think it's going to be higher. Therefore, I think he'll average more.
I agree with what you're saying really quick, but I saw
Yeah.
game 2 of the preseason, and he was breaking. And it wasn't contested. It was open shots, and he was breaking. I'm like, Lord, you better have a great game 3, boy. Cause
Right.
it was
Because you know
bad.
the haters
It was
is
really
coming.
bad.
Right.
Yeah. So, but like that's why I feel like the inconsistency. We like Melo has a tendency of being inconsistency, and then he around after
Right.
All-Star break, a little bit before All-Star break, and then he goes on this tangent that,
Yeah.
God damn, he top 25 in the game right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just things we just gotta things we're accustomed to right now. That's all it is.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a good point. I'm just hoping or wishing that we get less of those low efficiency games. And hopefully.
Big Ha, I think we are going to get less of those less efficient, bad efficiency games, but I think we're also going to get more low field goal attempt games, just
Okay.
because of guys who are on the roster like LeBron, AD, Westbrook. The Blazers had Dame and CJ, and Powell. Like you could argue him too, but that's why I think both of those things kind of even out. Where I do think he will shoot a better percentage from 3. He will probably have more open looks than he did in Portland.
Okay.
And I also do think he will get the ball less, just because of all the guys on the team. And you look at guys like Malik Monk and Kendrick Nunn, Taylor Horton-Tucker, who they're gonna get theirs. Like they're young and they want to score and they want to be a part of the team too. So that's where I think both of those things even out. He put up 13.4 last year, which tied for his career low in a season. He put up 13.4 in Houston in those 10 games.
We don't count that
Yeah.
year didn't happen.
So,
we don't even know about that year. So
yeah, 13.4 in both of those seasons. I don't really see a scenario unless multiple people get hurt, and again, we're not projecting or taking that into account.
So
when everybody's healthy, I'm with Jordie. I think he gets 11 to 12 a game.
Jordie or Steve, tell me one thing. If y'all could real quick look up how many attempts. Now I know Russell is now part of the team, but how many attempts Kuzma got last year per game? If y'all could look that quick up.
Kuzma last year from the field?
Yeah, field goal attempts.
11.1.
11.1. And does that include his 3-point attempts? It does?
Yep.
So 11.1?
Yep. And Melo shot 11.3 times a game.
So similar, right. And I feel like he was going to get Kuzma and more shots. So
but you have to remember that now they have Westbrook now.
Right. But what
talking about 11.1?
What lineup do y'all feel Melo will be with more? Because if he's with the Rondo, Dwight Howard lineup, I think he's going to get a ton of shots in that.
He is going to get a lot of shots.
See, because we worried about Westbrook.
I was going to say he is.
But he may not be on the floor with Russ a lot.
I think he is, though. I think he is. The reason why I think that is because at the end of the day, it is Westbrook. He is still compared to everybody else in that team. He is one of the youngest players on that team. He's gonna get a lot of burn. And he's gonna run with that second unit.
You think so?
And I believe so.
With a healthy Kendrick Nunn and Rondo, you think Westbrook is gonna get that many more minutes?
Yeah. I feel like the reason why I say that is I think Kendrick Nunn is going to play more of the 2 guard when Westbrook is on the floor. But I feel like Rondo just came in for veteran presence. I feel like he just came to be a vocal. I could be wrong, but I feel like he came in as more of a vocal, more more conservative. Like not I wouldn't say Udonis Haslam because Rondo can still play.
Right.
But in that type of scene, in that
type of
role,
scenario.
I mean,
role. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Situational.
Copy that. I got you.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know, man. I think I personally don't see him scoring more than 12 points a game max. Just because, again, like I said, we look at Portland last year. Melo put up 13.4, and of course there were plenty of times where we all complained about his shot attempts, and he put up 11.3, and Kuzma shot less than that last year. And again, factor in Morris, KCP, and things like that. but I just think that
I
Westbrook,
really
man.
understand. Yeah, I really understand both of y'all points on that aspect. But I think y'all missed. I really believe if Melo shoots better, the points is gonna rise. Right? Pause. Because it's the whole. If his efficiency was, he missed a lot of easy bunnies last year. That had me screaming at the TV, want to throw the phone like, "Yo, young, what are you doing?" Layups, point blank range. A lot of the jab step mid range that he's always been all water, all net for life. He was just bricking sometimes. I'm like, nah, come on. From the free throw line, you know how many mid range free throw jumpers Melo missed last year?
A lot.
I don't think that's gonna happen this year. That's why I'm saying.
All right, so Big
You know
Ha,
what I mean? Based on that.
So tell us the
14
difference.
max.
What's
14
the
max.
difference? What's the difference between him shooting a mid-range jumper for the Blazers versus the Lakers?
What's the difference?
Yeah. Like, why do you think he'll convert those this year?
Yeah, I just think he worked hard. I think he's locked in, man. Even, albeit, Jordie said it, the other night, he was like 0 for 30. I didn't know what was going on, but I think we're going to see more efficient games from him. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I agree.
Because his point per game average was only low at 13.4 because he missed a lot of easy shots, man.
He did.
You know what I mean? He did. Like, you got to call a spade a spade. So, you know.
I agree. And the reason why I agree, I don't think it's more him hitting more mid-rangers. It's him having easier baskets.
Right.
That, like, I keep pointing out to that AD pass.
Yes.
Hey, I fuck with Dame and CJ. CJ ain't doing that pass.
Hell no.
CJ doing a three-pointer. We're not even going to see that play because Dame pulling from half court.
Right.
So we're not going to see things like that. We didn't see that with Portland. So it's going to be layups. It's going to be dunks.
Now, Jordie.
It's going to be 10-foot mid-ranges.
Right. What our boy got to do, though, make his damn layups.
Yeah,
he got to make his layup.
He misses 2 layups and he's already completing the rest.
Yeah, he made his layups the first game and he made it the third game. But that second game, was it where he missed against McGee? Easy bunny. Like, I guess, I don't know. It was a layup. I'm like, Mel, oh my. Then he tried to tap it in, but he missed that tap.
I don't remember.
And all of that. That always lowers Melo's shooting percentage too. When he be doing he get the rebound, he go back up and it missed and all, and it's like extra shot attempt that is considered a miss, and like, he just tipped the ball, but it's a miss.
Yeah.
Right? And so
you know what, bro? I feel like Melo, since New York, not in New York, but since New York, and even in New York, fuck it, the second half of New York, I struggled around the rim. I bet you, I don't know the numbers offhand, but I bet you he shoots I bet you he converts a lower percentage around the hoop than like the league average, because 1, he doesn't get calls. To use Big Ha, let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
2, he doesn't flop. So when you don't get calls and you don't flop, and you aren't jumping out the gym,
I was just about to say that's the third one. His legs
tough.
is gone.
Then it's tough. Those are the 3 ways to score. So that's
Since that night where he hit the game winner, ironically, in LeBron's face in Cleveland, and then that's when he hurt his knee. He ultimately had to have the surgery. His legs, his jumping ability. Yeah. I think if we go to his field goal percentage before the knee surgery around the basket to since the surgery up until tonight, I guarantee you it's much lower.
I bet.
After that surgery, his legs, he's never had that, the way he used to.
Yeah, and he's
older now.
Balls, so that don't help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bad combo. So and like crazy because last year he was shooting what? He shot 42% from the field.
Right.
And 41% from 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, 10% more from the field. Obviously,
like really? Like, how are you right? Like, that? That's my point. So that's where the points drop. He would have averaged much more points if he hit his mid-range and his layup.
Yeah. You're right.
So it's all about efficiency with him. His grade point average. Oh God, I'm thinking school. What the hell? His points per game. I graduated a long time ago. I don't know what the hell that was about. His points per game, should I say, rather, is going to be predicated on his efficiency.
All right, so let's go around the horn one more time. I think we need an exact point because we'll come back to this in May or April, whenever April. I think it's going back to April because the season's normal schedule again. I think he puts up 11.8 points per game.
12.7.
16.4.
Big Ha, if he puts up 16.4 points a game and the Lakers win the championship this year, I will take back every single thing that I said about this whole Lakers. 16.4.
Bet. Deal. Bet.
16.4.
16.4. That's
that would be something else. But
yeah.
That's more than what he had in OKC.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
You asking for
I want that
too much, man.
I want that 6-man.
Big Ha, he put up 16.2 in OKC.
I'm saying. Yeah, but you adding 0.2 to that.
Well,
with LeBron, AD, and Russ, and we talking about the Malik Monks of the world taking up his shots. Hell nah, man. Hey, man, listen. I hope so.
Hey.
But then you asking for a little bit too much now.
Hey, 4 free throws a game, right? 3 threes a game, right? That's 13 points. And an N1, a layup, and another free throw.
Another free throw, a layup,
or a mid-range jumper N1 when he do that little pump fake. Yeah, that's the 16.
So Mel, if you're watching this, you have to get. Would you say Big Ha 2 N1s a game?
Yeah, an N1, 4 free throws. An N1, 4 free throws, 3 threes.
All right, that's easy shit.
You know what I mean?
In 26 minutes.
That's easy. 60.
26. Yo, listen, man. What is that? That's 4 points a quarter.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's
4 points a quarter.
You got.
Why not?
When you put it like that, we'll see.
There's no reason why, as soon as he get in the game, he shouldn't lead the end of the first quarter with like at least 6 to 8 points in the first quarter. Bro, every night.
You know, Melo is always one of the top scorers in the first quarter all the time in New York, in Denver and shit too. So, hey, man, if he comes in the game and they feed him and he puts up 4 points a quarter, I will take back everything that I said.
Absolutely. We'll see.
He's getting a 3-pointer. 1 3-pointer a quarter and an occasional free throw. Boom, 12.7 points a game. That's what's happening.
Okay.
I know 3 and 1. That's not happening.
Listen,
we'll see, bro. Because if that's the case, if Melo has like more and ones this year than any other year in his career, I am clipping this little clip right here and throwing it all over social. So
absolutely. Let's get it. Let's get it, man. I'm telling you.
Yo,
16 points. 16. Let's go. That's the number.
Yo, both of you, I know that usually, we end it off, and I'm like, yo, thank you guys for coming. I'm going to allow you to control A narrative. I've never controlled A narrative at the end, so I want to jump in and do this real quick because I was going to say shout out J.R. Smith, but then I was like, yo, let me wait for the end. So I wanted to quickly shout out J.R. Smith. He's back at college, getting his degree. And on top of that, he is on the golf team. I think he's playing in North Carolina or South Carolina or something like that. So he's on the golf team, getting his degree. And I think it's just very fitting we do this now because Melo's playing with LeBron. And I feel like ever since JR fucked up in that finals game and LeBron did that whole thing, and then LeBron threw him under the bus. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to LeBron's interview after that game. JR just became a meme. And I think people forget how good he fucking was in Denver and in New York and even in Cleveland in the beginning. Like, he was a good role player on that team who was a big part of him. So I just wanted to shout out J.R. Smith for his career, Sixth Man of the Year in New York, obviously a huge part of those Nuggets teams. And then also for having the humility to go back to college at, what is he, 34, however old he is, not giving a fuck what anybody says, tweeting about it, like tweeting shit like, yo, I got an 85 on my test and shit like that. It's cool as hell. I hate that my second favorite player of all time became a meme. I think single-handedly because of LeBron and like obviously the whole Hennessy and all the shit that he did. I'm not discounting that whatsoever, but that LeBron thing, I feel like really put the nail in the coffin for his legacy. So just wanted to shout out J.R. Smith. And with that being said, now I'll let you guys control the narrative. So sorry, I've never done that before, but I just needed to do that, get that off my chest.
Salute.
A lot of people have been, who gives a fuck about JR's science tests and shit, and it's whack. Those people are whack as shit. So,
right.
If either of you guys has a narrative and wants to kick it off, go for it.
I was right last year.
All right. I'll just say something along those lines and dig a little deeper. Pause. I wish media, or all people rather, stop judging people before you know who they are, what they're about. A lot of people go through a lot of obstacles and came from the mud and persevered. And we should salute that, even if they had a little stumbles along the way. Drunk driving, caught with weed, drugs, things of that nature. None of us are perfect. We all human. We all make mistakes. And people need to get to know people before they make a full assessment and try to destroy one's life based on certain mistakes that have transpired. So I would love to control the narrative of the media and others just quickly jump into conclusion and ready to just destroy one's life over things that have happened, because none of us are perfect, right? So that's basically what I would like to control.
Respect. It sounds like you read Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised.
Yeah, absolutely. Where Tomorrow, that's a great book. Get that book, everybody out there. Great book about adversity, hope, struggle, faith, family, friends, discipline, and go get it, So, yeah.
New York Times bestseller.
Yeah. Ironically,
number 7.
Of course.
It went up to number 7.
Of course it did. It fucking had to. It had to. It had to.
Yeah, I see the number.
Jordie,
what
I mean?
Huh? Yes, I do. I was right last year with that Paul George narrative. So this year I'm stick by LA. But I'm gonna go with Westbrook. I think I'm gonna control the Westbrook narrative. I might go out on a limb here, but with bearing injuries happening and things like that, like we've accustomed to seeing injury-prone players and things like that. I think Russ is winning MVP.
Bro, sorry to cut you off real quick. I just want to recap that in this episode, Melo is going to put up 16 points a game and Westbrook's winning MVP. And if all this shit happens and they win the finals, I thought you were heading there.
Hey,
Jordie, if he's about to say MVP right now.
Wow. What's more likely, Melo getting 16 a game or Russ winning MVP? Come on, son. Whoa.
That's good shit. Sorry, Jordie.
I don't know. It's just, I've been saying it since he been in LA. It's just I don't know. I think it's time for another one. I think it's time for another MVP for Russ. And he got the team, he got the personnel for it. We all know LeBron going to take a little backseat until the playoffs start anyway. And let's say AD is healthy. Russ and AD is a crazy duo. And if Russ is by himself with the team he's in, let's say AD, God forbid AD or LeBron get hurt or don't play all 82 games, which I doubt they'll play all 82 games. Right. Russ still got Melo. Russ still got Malik. Russ still got all these players that know how to play the game. And he got the coaching staff for it too. So why not win MVP in LA?
Okay. Update, fellas, real quick. Frank Vogel just said Kent Bazemore and Carmelo Anthony will start alongside the Big Three tonight.
Wow.
Just had to throw that in there.
Interesting.
Russ is
A
having
week
double
away
double
from the
team.
season.
A week away. I don't know if that's telling, but it's the
That's
Big Three
interesting.
plus Bazemore and Melo. I don't know what that means, but
And I mess with Bazemore. I mess with Bazemore.
yeah,
man.
I mess with Baze.
Not in Portland, but he was hooping.
Overall, his overall career, yeah. He's a hard worker, hustler.
And he nice in 2K.
This is the Lakers' second to last preseason game, so it's very interesting that that's the lineup.
Absolutely.
Very interesting.
Absolutely.
And I think that has a lot to do with AD saying that he could play with Melo. He like playing with Melo, and AD running the 5. I think that's really what it is more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Big Ha, Jordie, you guys have been following, supporting for a minute now, both of you. I know that, so wanted to thank you guys for taking time out, and then also for following us and showing support, copping merch. Like Big Ha's got that shit on. Liking, commenting, all that shit. Jordie being a member and all that. So appreciate both of you.
And I don't know why I'm not I'll be a member soon. I just got caught up. I'll be forgetting.
I'm about to buy that Melo cartoon shit you got. I told you I was gonna buy it before it even dropped. Remember I told you. I was like, yo, I'm gonna buy your next one. I don't care what it is. And I'll fuck with it anyway. So it's better for me. It's better for me.
Yo, I'm not even just saying this to say this. That one and this one we got coming up at the beginning of November, at the end of October, 2 of the most fire drops out there. And I'm not even just saying that to say it. So excited for both of you guys to check it. But for real, appreciate both of you.
Salute.
And 2 controls best right here. So stay mellow, baby. It's gonna be a wild season one way or another. So thank you guys for hopping on.
Lake Show. Peace.
Peace, homies.